This is The Gist, the essential podcast for the discerning listener.
Welcome to The Gist. I'm John.
And I'm Mary. It is Saturday, August 1st, 2026.
We are your smart friends on the go. Let's get right into it with the Gist view.
Today, we are looking at a harsh economic reality. Prices are going up, and central banks cannot stop it.
Take India, for example. Their biggest consumer companies are hiking prices again. They are marking up everything from toothpaste to tyres just ahead of the festival season.
The trigger? The prolonged conflict in the Middle East. It is driving up the cost of raw materials.
So, who pays for this geopolitical instability? The everyday shopper. Consumer companies have to protect their profit margins. To do that, they pass the costs straight down.
This exposes a huge limit for central banks. Normally, they raise interest rates to cool down inflation.
But interest rates cannot clear a blocked shipping lane. They cannot pump crude oil.
Exactly. If inflation comes from a physical supply shock, central banks are trapped. To fix it, they would have to crush domestic demand. That means intentionally triggering a recession.
We see this tension in the United States too. United States Treasury yields just ended the month higher.
Let's quickly define that. A Treasury yield is the return you get for investing in United States government debt. It is the global benchmark for borrowing costs.
These yields are rising partly because the United States economy is running hot, but energy fears are also pushing them up. Wall Street is realizing that traditional monetary tools cannot solve physical world problems. Everyday buyers just have to absorb the shock.
Let's move to the global overview. We are looking at retail banking and artificial intelligence.
Lloyds Bank in the United Kingdom is sounding an alarm. They are evaluating the systemic risk of something called agentic artificial intelligence.
Agentic artificial intelligence means software that does not just chat with you, it acts for you. It can execute multi-step tasks entirely on its own.
Imagine a smart artificial intelligence agent looking at your savings account. It notices a slightly better interest rate at a rival bank. It simply moves your money for you, instantly.
That sounds amazing for the consumer, but it is a total nightmare for banks.
A massive nightmare. Banks rely heavily on consumer inertia. People are busy. We leave our money in accounts with terrible rates. That gives banks a deep pool of cheap capital to lend out. If artificial intelligence starts shopping for yields autonomously, deposits could shift in massive, rapid waves. The banks lose their cheap money overnight. The power shifts from the massive institution right back to the consumer, armed with a smart bot. Next up, let's look to the moon. Advocates are pushing hard for established lunar land rights.
Why now? It is all about capital flow. Right now, there is no legal framework for owning property in space.
And without property rights, private investors will not fund big projects. You would not build a factory on Earth if you could not own the land underneath it.
The same logic applies in orbit. If we want private capital to fund space infrastructure and resource extraction, someone has to write the property laws. Until then, the money stays on Earth.
Turning to the European perspective, a severe border crisis is testing the limits of European unity.
Let's look at Ceuta. It is a Spanish autonomous city in North Africa. It shares a direct land border with Morocco.
In a single 24-hour period, nearly 50,000 migrants crossed that border. Spain scrambled the military and quickly returned over 48,000 people, but the ripple effects hit mainland Europe instantly.
Italy's Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, just announced a temporary suspension of the Schengen Treaty with Spain.
Schengen is the European Union's passport-free travel zone. It completely abolishes internal border checks. Suspending it is a massive move.
It is an emergency brake. The treaties allow it to prevent cascading security failures.
But look at the power dynamic here. Morocco simply relaxed its border controls, but by doing that, they essentially broke Europe's core mobility treaty. It proves how vulnerable the European Union remains to demographic leverage. Control the border flow, and you control the political reality in Europe.
Speaking of political realities, a quick update from the United Kingdom. Labour candidate Bev Craig just won the Greater Manchester mayoral election.
She succeeds Andy Burnham. As our listeners know, Burnham resigned as mayor in June. He just became the United Kingdom Prime Minister 2 weeks ago, on July 20th. Finally, back to the world of central banks. The European Central Bank, or ECB, is shifting its focus. The ECB manages the euro. Executive Board member Frank Elderson announced they are escalating their monitoring of nature risk. What does that mean? It means tracking how the destruction of natural ecosystems hurts bank investment. Elderson warned that losing natural assets is a dramatically growing threat to core financial stability.
It ties right back to our first story. Central banks are facing physical realities they cannot fix with money printers. Whether it is a war in the Middle East or ecological collapse, real-world supply destruction is the new baseline.
And that is the temperature for today. We are watching the strict limits of the old systems. Traditional monetary policy is hitting a brick wall against real-world supply shocks. Meanwhile, autonomous artificial intelligence threatens the bedrock of retail banking, and a lack of space law is bottlenecking the next frontier of capital.
Exactly. Power is shifting fast, from consumer inertia to automated bots, and from paper treaties to raw geographic leverage.
If this kind of breakdown helped you connect the dots today, we would love for you to join us long term.
You can get the gist delivered to your inbox every day, totally free. Just click the subscribe link right there in the show notes.
Thanks for listening. We will catch you next time.
The Gist, News Digest, and podcast are entirely written and produced by artificial intelligence. The Gist is out 3 times a day, every day, providing you with a liberal perspective on what to expect next. For more information and donations, visit thegist.online. Thank you for listening.